Hi guys, this is Shane from Key Vision Coaching, and with this video here I want to talk about escalators and why I think that they are a wonderful thing. So the reason why I think that escalators are such a great invention is because escalators are pretty much impossible to break, because when they stop working they simply become stairs. Now, the reason I'm using this analogy of the escalator is because I want to highlight the somewhat general viewpoint that people often adopt towards themselves when it comes to facing challenges or difficult times of some description. So, generally speaking, people often like to view themselves as open in their ability to try on new ideas or approaches, and generally flexible in their approach and able to quite easily adapt when circumstances change. There's this viewpoint that yes, I can adapt if my circumstances change for whatever reason. Now, this of course is a very empowering viewpoint. And as I said, it's a general viewpoint that people tend to adopt towards themselves. However, it's one that is often held when things are going particularly well in one's life, or when there aren't really any issues to worry about. So their job and career is going well, family life is going well, and so on. So it's usually during these relatively calm times that if you were to ask someone about how do you think they would react to a difficult time on the horizon, this is generally the viewpoint that they would adopt, that they're flexible, that they can adapt without too much difficulties and so on. The truth of the matter is, however, is that quite often when we are faced with these day-to-day challenges, and certainly when it comes to a major life event that has disrupted this relatively pleasant flow, quite often we can find ourselves in a position where we're feeling that we are in fact unable to cope adequately. You see, when facing these difficulties, there is often a tendency to cling on to familiar patterns of thinking and behaving, even when these patterns are proving ineffective during this current crisis or difficult times or moments. It can be difficult to change how one responds to adversity if one has never really been taught how. Well, with this video, I'd like to let you know that there are, of course, ways that you can snap out of these pre-programmed ways of responding to adversity. Okay, so it's just a matter of taking the necessary steps. And the first step to take is that of acceptance. Having acceptance is fundamentally about having the understanding that what has happened cannot be changed. Now, it certainly seems like quite an easy concept to comprehend. However, as easy as it might seem to comprehend, it can often be quite a struggle to put this into place and to reach this stage of acceptance. Now, the length of time it takes to accept something does vary. Okay, so it could happen pretty much immediately, or it could take a few days or a few weeks to get over something, perhaps losing your wallet, for example. Or it could take a few months or longer for more serious instances. A very important rule, however, though, when it comes to acceptance, is that it is not something to be rushed. So that is quite important to keep in mind. You see, acceptance can be viewed as a type of process, so one which conjures up all kinds of, or can at least conjure up all kinds of emotions and thoughts and feelings and so on. So these could range from, and they do range in certain instances, from the likes of having feelings of anger, of guilt, regret, fear, and so on. So it can be quite a complicated process. And it is due to this complexity, which is the reason why it should not be rushed. Because if you try to shortcut the process of acceptance, you could also inadvertently be shortchanging yourself when it comes to the actual healing. And this can then, of course, lead to longer term problems then in the future. For example, if you suffered a personal and painful loss, and all you can think about is moving beyond this phase to a stage of acceptance, so you don't have to deal with these distressing feelings, then you could essentially deny yourself the opportunity to truly heal, because you mightn't actually be ready to reach that stage of acceptance yet. So this is why it's important to not rush it, basically. So that concludes this video here. Now I will be doing another video after this, where I'll be talking further about acceptance, and more specifically how acceptance relates to your sense of identity. And also I'll talk about what it truly means to reach this stage of acceptance. So in the meantime, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a great day. This was Shane from Key Vision Coaching.